What's going on everyone, my name is Tom from Dreadlabs and today I want to talk about mixed media.
Dreadlabs.
Alright, so before we start the video, I just want to tell you that you can get the project files for this tutorial and all of my other tutorials on my Patreon. If you want to learn more, there's a link in the description down below or stick around until the end of the video. Alright, so mixed media. You see it a lot nowadays in titles of artworks and stuff like that, but what is it really? So to try to explain it really quickly, mixed media is making artworks by combining multiple disciplines of art. So that can be editing a painting digitally, printing out your work and editing it after. But how I like to describe it is messing with the process. Alright, so what I really like about mixed media artworks is that you can really let loose in terms of physical disciplines and getting creative with your hands and get crafty. And as adults, we usually learn at a certain age that it's not like you're not allowed to make a mess anymore. Like once you're a kid, you get like into arts and crafts, or you start painting and stuff like that. And then once you become an adult, at least for me, it was like kind of like expected that you won't really make a mess of things anymore. And that's basically what mixed media artworks really make this appealing to me. So getting back to the phrase remixing the process or messing with the process, basically what I mean is every single normal discipline of art, there's a certain amount of steps that you can go through until it's finished. So for example, let's talk about a digital illustration. So what you probably do when you make a digital illustration or painting is you make a sketch, ink that sketch, color that sketch, and then it's finished. All of those steps can basically be tampered with or be messed with. And what I mean by that is, for example, what you can do is once you actually inked it, you can print it out again. So you have like a printed out version of your inked sketch, and then start painting over that with like actual brushes and scanning it back in. Another thing can be scanning things in while keeping them moving. So a person that does this a lot on Instagram is Joe Boyd. You might have seen his reels where he scans in different things and like shakes it up while it's scanning and stuff like that, so you get really interesting experimental images. Another cool thing about mixed media is that you can just keep doing these steps over and over again until you get something. So what we're gonna do today is I am going to try to make a mixed media artwork, and like at the end of it I'll walk you through what I did and how these steps were remixed and what was expected of me and what I actually started doing. So yeah, let's get into it. So I decided on making a cover artwork for Ugly is Beautiful, an album by Oliver Tree. The first thing I did was some typography in Illustrator together with a smiley face. Instead of taking this into Photoshop, I printed it out. My printer also is a scanner, so I decided to do some experiments with my scanner. So I had a couple of packing peanuts laying around and I decided to scan those in to see what it looked like. And at first I didn't really like them, but I decided to use them later. I also printed out my design and scanned it back in and moved it around while scanning, and this resulted in pretty much like a warped typography effect. Pretty cool. I printed a couple more designs out and experimented with them. I sprayed some detergent on it to see what happened, and it didn't really do that much for me, so I decided to cover the paper with a dripstick I had laying around, and I tried to mess with the ink dripping down the paper. So I wasn't really happy with the result of this, but it definitely gave me some new ideas. So back to the warp design for now. I decided to bring it back into Photoshop and experiment with some color overlays and some blend modes. So this resulted in some pretty cool grunge-like effects, which I decided to print out once again. I put this up against the paintable wall in my office, and I used a couple of drip sticks to drip down some ink on the paper. The combination of the dripping ink on an already printed paper definitely results in some interesting blending of colors and in my opinion some sick details. I took a picture of this, dragged it back into Photoshop and did some color correction. So that's my first version of this cover. For the second version I decided to do something with the packing peanuts I scanned in. As you can see, they are a bit overlit, and that's because my scanner didn't fully close while I was scanning them in, but I actually liked it more this way. So combining this with the warp design I scanned back in and a gradient map, I landed on some pretty cool results. I added the track list and called it a day. So these are the end results. So on the screen right now you can see a diagram of a regular workflow when designing and the workflow I had for my mixed media artworks in this video. I hope this illustrates a bit on what I mean with remixing or messing with the process. Alright guys, there you have it, a mixed media artwork. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, so before we end the video, I just want to give a big shout out to my patrons. If you don't know, my patrons are actually supporting me and my channel, making me be able to keep up the weekly videos for you guys. So if you become a patron of mine, you'll get access to all of the project files from all of my tutorials, a 15% discount in my asset web store, as well as an exclusive Discord role. If you go one tier up, you'll also get access to exclusive videos, as well as even more project files. So if you want to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. Please leave a like, a comment and subscribe if you haven't already, because it also really helps me out. And with all of that being said, this was Tom from Dreadlabs tuning out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.